The last kind of fun, interesting thing I want to show you is how you can use Pillow to make an animated GIF file or GIF file, which is kind of a fun thing to do. So you can use a mathematical formula to generate a GIF. And the way this works is it creates a list called frames that's empty. And then it says for I in range. So it's going to do this 20 times. It's going to create a new image, RGB, 100 by 100, the white background. It's going to create a draw context. And then what it's doing here is it's creating a circle. And you'll see I in range. So every time I increases, the size of the circle will increase. And so it draws the circle. And it also uses I in the color of the circle. So the circle is going to get brighter. It's going to start out at nearly black, and it will grow in its color or grow in brightness, especially on the blue here where it's multiplied by 20. And it'll also get blurred progressively. So every time this goes through, it will create a circle, slightly bigger, slightly brighter, slightly more blurry. And then it will take that image and it will add it to that list. So I'm going to end up with 20 images in a list. And then all it has to do is save that series of images as an animated GIF. So I give the file name, and it says save all. Notice I'm using frames 0. So the first image in that series of frames is what I start with. I hit frames0.save. So I'm using the image save, just like we normally do, give it a file name, but then I give it some more parameters. Save all equals true. Append images. Okay, so append images says all the other frames in that series need to be added to this. The duration is the time between frame in milliseconds. So 100 milliseconds is 101,000th of a second, or 1/10 of a second in between. And loop, if you put loop 0, it will loop forever. Any other number here will tell it how many times to loop through. Those are common settings for animated GIF files. And so when I run this, it creates an animated GIF. If I scroll all the way down here, let's find that animated circle. And I need to open that in my Finder to see how it works. And there is the file I just created. So you can do all kinds of things. Anything you can do with Pillow can be turned into an animated GIF. You could have a picture with words scrolling across it. You could have a picture that changes. You could have a ball that bounces. If you think about this, all I'm doing is applying some very simple math to this. I could, however, add each picture, each frame to that manually or one at a time. So all I need is this list of frames, and then I go through the process of saving it just like this so that I can reuse it as a GIF. So it's actually pretty simple. This code is also available on the class website. So you can download all those, play around with them, do whatever you want. And if you want to use any of those as part of your A16 assignment, those are all fair game.